Well, we're gonna test some hay today. So we've got our professional nutritionist. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that fancy setup he's got. So we'll go through and we'll take a core out of several of these bales and we'll mix it all together. That way we get a good average. So this is that native grass hay that I bought. We're gonna test it and see what it tests at, and we're also gonna compare it then against some of this hay that I that I made here off of that place. You guys remember the videos of that that field right behind us. So we're gonna get two different samples. We'll have the native grass, which is big blue, and a little bit of Indian switchgrass, and then this is just straight fescue. There was no clover or anything like that. There was some other grass that had maybe come up in it, but for the most part it's just regular old fescue. So that'll be interesting to get that back. We're going to send it off to two different places basically to get results. One is a lab that we've used before, and the other one is some sort of little promotional deal that a place has got going on. We're gonna see how the test results compare. Now this Nestle bottle, is that professional equipment or is that sold?
Yeah, you got to send away to get something like this. You know, the Nestle Corp did sponsor us on this one. So. That or have 3 kids and drink a lot of chocolate milk.
I think the last time you did this, we were using a formula bucket, if I remember right.
Yeah, nobody's had formula for the past year, so we were a little short on formula, but switched right to this stuff. Cheaper and more calories.
Taking our official notes. I forgot to film. I'll get it on the next one that he does. How he uses his rod to get the sample out. But yeah, it'll just be in there. We'll fill it in a little baggie. We'll label it very professionally like. There you go. Now we're getting the samples from the baled here hay. The home raised hay. There, that's what we'll call it, the home raised hay. And we did get rain again last night, so these bales are a little damp. And the shoes are getting wet. We got like 1/4 inch here. Man, I don't know who stacked this hay. Someone should fire them.
Fire him, or at least dock his pay.
Yeah, I think we should dock his pay and fire him at the same time. DeWalt really should sponsor both of us, because between all the videos I make with all the DeWalt stuff, I'm telling you. Come on, DeWalt. Give us free tools. We'll use them in our videos.
I was actually approached by a Milwaukee man the other day.
Oh, man.
Big things coming through. Hope DeWalt jumps on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we'll switch that. We'll switch to Milwaukee, yeah. Alright, so that's how we take samples to get hay tested. I tried to record this outro multiple times the day that we did that, and I kept getting interrupted, and I literally just went and deleted 3 different takes of that, so I'm just going to do it now. Like I said, there was an event going on at the feed store up the road. We took it up there, and they tested it instantaneously with like infrared deal. It was really cool. They had a just like a ultrasound type gun, a handheld device, right? And this device is like an $11,000 handheld device, and it uploads the results and everything to his phone. He was able to put it up on his laptop and put it up on a display screen. It was really cool, and show us the results, you know, instantaneously. Surprisingly, to my surprise anyways, I would have thought that the Big Blue would have tested higher than our fescue, but actually they were basically the same. A little over 6% protein on both of them. The fat was closer to 3% on our fescue hay as opposed to the Big Blue. So yeah, not very good. That is not good hay at all. And while that might seem discouraging, comparing it to everybody else's results, which you're not supposed to compare yourself to others, but comparing it to everybody else's hay, it was actually better than a lot of the hay being tested. It was worse than some of the other hay being tested. But yeah, just kind of run of the mill this year. I think part of the reason it tested so low was because everything grew so much this year. The nutrients in the ground were going to everything, you know. I think that was a big proponent in that. And also, Jake tested some of his hay, which was really good hay. It had a bunch of clover and everything in it, and it only ended up testing like 8.5% protein, I think. So even that wasn't as high as we thought it should have been. So overall, just yeah, we're gonna have to feed a lot of supplement with that hay, and that's pretty normal. And no surprise there. Was hoping for better, but it is what it is. If nothing else, we'll get a bunch of seed from that Big Blue, and that should be nice. Hopefully some of that will take, and we'll have maybe some of that start establishing itself here in the pastures that I unroll it in. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process getting your hay sampled. I recommend everyone should do it. That way you know where you're at, because you know, if I hadn't tested that, I would have gone on assuming like, hey, this hay is, you know, pretty decent hay, and why something else must be wrong? What's not working here? You know, when in reality, now we know what we're kind of up against. Now we did send those off to the lab, and we'll see. We'll compare those two results, but more than likely it'll be very similar. This one, the instant test, didn't have like a TDN or an RFV. But you can get that by doing a bunch of other calculations. More than likely, it's about 50, 52. That's usually where I've tested a bunch of this fescue hay, and that's usually the highest I've ever gotten is like 50, 54. And it's just not good hay. As we get into this, I might start trying to buy hay from other states, or we talked about maybe trying to grow some alfalfa of our own, just to have some, because any locally grown alfalfa, they know it's so much better than everything else that they charge an astronomical amount. Or if it's shipped in, it's expensive because of shipping. So we might try to grow something of our own. But anyways, that was the hay testing. That was the results we got. And yeah,